First, though, the Rockets and the league are reviewing whether James Harden violated the NBA's COVID-19 policy after online video surfaced of him partying maskless at a club. The Rockets and league office are attempting to verify that it is indeed recent video, which would confirm that he violated protocols and would also jeopardize his status for tonight's season opener against the Thunder. Now, in response, Harden posted this to his Instagram story. "One thing after another," he writes. "I went to show love to my homegirl at her event, not a strip club, because she is becoming a boss and putting her people in positions of success, and now it's a problem. Every day, it's something different. No matter how many times people try to drag my name under," James writes. He says, "The real always ends on top." Of course, I would personally note that the issue the NBA is investigating isn't whether he was at a strip club specifically. It's being at an indoor gathering with a crowd of people without a mask, all of which is against NBA rules. And on top of all of that, we have breaking news on the jump. Here to give us the latest on the Rockets, our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, I want to get to Harden in a second, but you have a developing story here. Some of the other Houston Rockets who may not be available for tonight's season opener against the Thunder. What is going on?
Yeah, Rachel, the Rockets are conducting contact tracing on a few of their players, including a couple of their key players, beginning with John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, and KJ Martin, their rookie forward, I was told, tested positive, but they're testing him further for the coronavirus. What I was told was they were away from the facility in the last day or two, getting a haircut, and they were at an apartment of one of the players, and so it was Cousins and Wall and KJ Martin among them. There might have been another player there. But right now, because of that positive test for Martin, and the team itself announced just prior to us reporting that he had tested positive, that he was not with the team. He was self-isolating, like Ben McLemore, who we also reported tested positive a few days ago for the coronavirus. So also should note, our sourcing tells us that both Wall and Cousins have both tested negative today for the coronavirus. And so, that contact tracing, based on what else they find out with KJ Martin in terms of whether that positive test stands up, that could keep other teammates out of the lineup. The league essentially has some freedom with contact tracing with how long they would hold a player out. We saw with Mike Conley in Utah, based on proximity and to somebody who had it, they kept him away for almost a week.
Wow. Well, as if that's not enough to deal with, let's get back to James Harden, the allegations of him partying at a club. What would happen if the Rockets and the league conclude their investigation and find that Harden is indeed, as it certainly appears, and really by his own admission in that Instagram post, that he was in violation of the league's COVID protocol?
Yeah, he could face a suspension, Rachel, and these protocols are all new to the season, and we haven't seen the league have to punish anyone yet, or to execute, at least outside of the bubble. We saw what happened with Daniel House with the Rockets last year inside the bubble, but this is different. And, this has been a recurring theme with James Harden leading into training camp, being in Atlanta, being in Las Vegas. And so, now he's self-isolated and tested negative, I believe, 6 consecutive days before he was allowed and cleared into training camp. But based on what their findings are, and I know the Rockets are working with the league on Harden, to see essentially if he's going to have to be away from the team again, and again, if there's going to be a punishment. So, there's a lot of uncertainty. And by the way, the Rockets open up tonight against Oklahoma City, and I'm told the Thunder have not really had any contact with anybody, with the league or the Rockets, about what this means for them in their game tonight.
It really is remarkable to see the dominoes. And Woj, you and our colleague Tim McMahon have done such great reporting on this all morning. I've been glued to both of your Twitter feeds. One of the things that came out was confirming, in fact, that sources told ESPN that James Harden indeed had coronavirus earlier this year. It is what made him late for the bubble. Of course, that was the assumption, but it had not been publicly confirmed. And it is my understanding is it yours that the league is telling players, even if they've had it, we don't know enough about how immunity from this disease works, that you can't just assume because you've had it, you can run around without a mask or publicly gather, correct?
That's exactly right, Rachel. The rules don't change for you if you have previously tested positive and now just have the antibodies, or you've yet to have the coronavirus. The rules in place are the same, and so they wouldn't be different for James Harden or any other player or individual in the league who's going to be tested and be around his peers.
Really, just every day I wake up and something new is happening in Houston. I know it's 10 times for you guys. Thank you so much for your insight, Woj.
Thanks, Rach.
We will be here all show, so if anything else more breaks, you know where to find us. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.